Solving quadratic equations in one variable. Each of the following graphs illustrates a quadratic function. Find the solution set in R of the equation f of x equals 0 in each figure. In figure 1, the curve intersects x-axis at x equals -2. Here is the point of intersection is -2 and 0. X coordinate equals -2 and y coordinate equals 0. So solution set equals -2. Here there is no intersection point. So solution set equals phi, the empty set. Here the curve intersects x-axis at 2 points. Here the x coordinate is -3 and the x coordinate equals 1. So solution set equals -3 and 1. Next question. Choose the correct answer from those given. If the curve of the quadratic function f cuts the x-axis at the 2 points 2 and 0, -3 and 0, then the solution set of f of x equals 0 in R is, here the solution set is the x coordinate. Here x coordinate equals 2 and the x coordinate in the second point equals -3. So solution set equals -3 and 2. 2 and -3. So we choose letter C. Question 2. The solution set of the equation x squared minus x equals 0 in R is, so we have to solve this equation in steps. So we write x squared minus x equals 0 and we factorize it into two factors, x multiply x minus 1 equals 0. How we factorize it? We factorize it by taking out the common factor. Here we have x and x. The common factor here is x. We take it out and we divide by it. X squared divide x equals x. Negative x divide x equals -1. So x equals 0 or x minus 1 equals 0. When x minus 1 equals 0, it means x equals 1. So we have x equals 1 and x equals 0. The solution set of this equation, solution set equals 0 and 1. And we choose letter C. Letter C. And also you can use calculator to factorize this equation. Here in this equation, in the form ax square plus bx plus c equals 0. And by comparison, the factors a equals 1. Here, what is the coefficient of x squared? Here is 1, right? So a equals 1. What is the coefficient of x? The number multiplied by x is b, which equal -1. What is the value of c, the absolute term? there is no c here. There is no constant. So c equals 0. So we go to calculator and we write 5 here, 3. And we write the coefficients. A equals 1, equals B equals -1, C equals 0. And then we complete, we find x equals 1 and x equals 0, x2 equals 0. So the solution set 0 and 1, 0 and 1. Okay. Next question. Question number 3. If f of x equals x squared plus bx plus c, the quadratic equation in its standard form. Quadratic function, and the x equals 2 is a root of the equation f of x equals 0. Then f of 2 equals, then what is the value of f of 2? What is the value of f of 2? So you can say, since x equals 2 is one of the two roots, is a root of the equation, then directly f of 2 equals 0. So f of 2 equals 0, and we choose letter D because 2 is a root of the equation. So like in the previous question here, we have 0 is a root of this equation. When you substitute of x equals 0, you will get f of 0 equals 0. Also, when you substitute x equals 1 here in the original equation, so you will get f of 1 equals 0. Why f of 1 equals 0? Because 1 is a root of this equation. Okay. Question 4 equals 0. And we have x equals 3 is a root. So what we deduce? We deduce that f of 3 equals 0 because 3 is a root. So find the m. What is the value of m? So we substitute x equals 0. f of 3 equals 3 squared, 3 power 2, because we have x squared, plus m multiply x. So we have m multiply 3 minus 3 equals 0. And we solve this equation in m. So we have 9 plus 3m minus 3 equals 0. It means 9 minus 3 equals 6 plus 3m equals 0. So we get 3m equals -6. It means m equals -6. Divide 3, which equal -2, and we choose letter B. Letter B. Next question. We have if one of the roots of the equation x squared minus 16 equals 0 is 4, then the other root is, we have quadratic equation, so we have two roots. Here we have one of the two roots of this equation is 4. So what is the other root? So we solve this equation. We write x squared minus 16 equals 0. How we solve it? By factorization, or you can use calculator, but we will factorize it as a difference of two squares, difference of two squares. So we have x minus 1 multiply, x minus 4 x minus 4 multiply x plus 4 equals 0. X minus 4 equals 0. It means x equals 4. X plus 4 equals 0. It means x equals negative 4. So we have 4 is a root of the equation, one of the two roots. So the other root is negative 4, and we choose letter A. Next question here. Choose the correct answer from the given ones. Here, the necessary condition which makes the equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 quadratic is a quadratic equation like what? Like x squared plus 2x. It's for example 2x plus 4 equals 0. It's quadratic equation. Here the coefficient equals 1. Okay, maybe this coefficient equals 21, maybe equals any other number, negative x squared plus 2x plus 4 equals 0. So the coefficient here, it is a, right, equals negative 1. Okay, so if a equals 0, what you get? If a equals 0 in this equation, if a equals 0, what you get? You will get bx plus c equals 0. It is not quadratic. So if a equals 0, here you will not get a quadratic equation. You will get a linear equation, first degree equation. Okay, so when we read the question again, the necessary condition which makes the equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 quadratic is a not equals 0. A not equals 0. A maybe take any other number, any other value, positive or negative, but not equal 0. Y minus 4 all square equals 36 and y less than 0. Then y plus 4 equals. So what is the value of y? Let us solve this equation. Okay. We have y minus 4 all square equals 36. So by taking the square root to the both sides, what we get? Y minus 4 equals positive or negative 6. So we have y minus 4 equals 6, or y minus 4 equals negative 6. Y equals 6 plus 4 equals 10, or y equals negative 6 plus 4, which equals negative 2. This solution is refused. Why? Because here is the condition y is less than 0. Here is positive, greater than 0. So we consider y equals negative 2. The required here is to find y plus 4. So y plus 4 equals negative 2 plus 4, which equal 2. And we choose letter B. Next question, question number 3. If x equals 4 is one of the roots of the equation x squared plus mx equals 4, then m equals negative 3. M is an even number. 1 minus m is a perfect square. A and C are both right. Okay, let us solve this equation to find the value of m first. Okay, we have the equation x squared plus mx minus 4 equals 0. We bring 4 from right hand side to left hand side, and we must change the sign. Here is positive, so in the left hand side is negative. Okay, but x equals 4 is one of the roots. It means directly f of 4 equals 0. So we substitute here x equals 4. What we get? 4 square, it is 16, plus when x equals 4, we have 4 multiply x, multiply m, it is 4m, minus 4 equals 0. It means 16 minus 4, it's 12, plus 4m equals 0. So m equals negative 3. 12 plus 4m equals 0. So 4m equals negative 12. Negative 12 divide 4 equals negative 3. So m equals negative 3 is a solution here, like this. But we must complete. Why? When we substitute m equals negative 3 here in C, 1 minus m equals, we will substitute m equals negative 3, so we'll get 1 minus negative 3, which equal 4. Negative by negative is positive, so we have 1 plus 3 equals 4. And 4 is a perfect square because it has a root, right? 4 is perfect square. So we have two right solutions. At A, when we consider m equals negative 3, and C here. Okay, so what is the right solution here? We will choose letter D, because A and C are both right. Okay, not B only, not m is an even number, it's wrong. Negative 3, here we get m equals negative 3. A negative 3 is not even, right? So we will choose letter D because A and C are both right. Question 4. The common root of the two quadratic equations x squared minus 3x plus 2 equals 0 and 2x squared minus 5x plus 2 equals 0 is. We wanted to find the common root. So in the first equation, x squared minus 3x plus 2 equals 0. So I will factorize it directly here. X squared equals x multiply x. Okay. 2 equals negative 1 multiply negative 2. Again, x multiply x equals x squared. Negative 1 multiply negative 2 equals positive 2. And when you add the product of the means plus the product of the extremes, what do you get? Negative x, here negative x, it's the product of the means. What is the product of the extremes? Negative 2x. Their sum equals negative 3x. It is the middle term here. So this factorization is right. Okay. So x minus 1 multiply x minus 2 equals 0, it means x equals 1 and x equals 2 are the two roots of the first equation. Again, with respect to the second equation, what we write? 2x squared. Okay, let us factorize it first here into two factors. 2x squared equals 2x multiply x, and 2 equals 1 multiply 2, and both negative. Negative 1 multiply negative 2 equals positive 2. So 2x minus 1 equals 0. It means x equals half. And put x minus 2 equals 0. Then x equals 2. So the common root here, x equals 2 and x equals 2. So the common root is x equals 2, and we choose letter A. Letter A. And we will see. First, I will write the equation in another form. We have y equals x multiply a, ax minus x multiply x equals x squared. So we'll substitute first x equals 0. So f of x, f of 0 equals a multiply 0 minus 0 square. So equals 0. So when x equals 0, y also equals 0, right? It is the value of y. Okay, so this is a right solution, a right point. Again, we find f of a, substituting x equals a. F of a, of course, equals y, which equal a multiply a. Substituting x equals a minus a power 2. A multiply a, it is a square minus a square, also equals 0. So this is a right solution here. So the curve intersects the x-axis at the 2 points 0 and 0, a and 0. Here the curve vertex is. In the quadratic equation, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. The x coordinate x equals negative b over 2a, where b is the coefficient of x and the a is the coefficient of x squared. This is x coordinate, and y coordinate equals f of x, of course, f of negative b over 2a. So we have the equation here. Y equals ax minus x squared. So a equals negative 1 and b equals a. A here in this form is the coefficient of x squared. What is the coefficient of x squared here? Is negative 1. What, b is the coefficient of x, the number multiplied by x. Here equals a. Okay, so b equals a. When we substitute to get x coordinate, we write x equals negative b So we will not write b. b equals a, so we write negative a over 2a, 2a, but a equals negative 1, right? So we have negative a over negative 2, which equal a over 2. So a over 2 is the x coordinate of the curve vertex. So what is the value of y coordinate? We said y coordinate equals f of x. Y coordinate equals f of a over 2 because x equals a over 2. And we will solve it here. So back to the solution again. Here we have y equals f of a over 2. We substitute in the curve here. We will substitute in this equation. So we have a multiply a over 2 minus a over 2 all square, which equal a multiply a over 2 equals a power 2 over 2 minus a square over 4, as 2 square equals 4. So we have a square over 2 minus a square over 4. Half minus 4 equals 1 over 4, right? 1 over 4 a square, which equal a square over 4. Okay, the vertex of the curve is the first coordinate, it is x coordinate, first projection is a over 2, and the second is a square over 4. So a over 2 and a square over 4 is the curve vertex. Okay, this is another right solution. Here the the axis of symmetry of the curve is x equals a. It's wrong statement. Here it's wrong, but here we have the solution in 1 is right, and the solution in 2 also is right. Here the axis of symmetry of the curve is x equal a. It is wrong because the equation of the axis of symmetry, the right equation is x equals a over 2, the x coordinate of the vertex. Okay, so what is the right solution? It is 1 and 2. So we have 1 and 2 only. Okay, next question here. Question number 6. The opposite figure represents the curve y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Which of the following is true? Okay, back to the standard form here. When if we have the equation y equals ax squared, so this curve in the form like this, opened upwards. Here is a, if a is greater than 0, but if a is less than 0, so we will get another form like this. Here is a is less than 0, is negative. In this curve, a is less than 0, like this. It's opened downwards. And the c It is the intercepted part from y-axis. Here is C. C here always positive. C is greater than 0. Then we choose letter C. A is less than 0 and C is greater than 0. Okay. Next question here. In the opposite figure, if the volume of the cuboid equals 40 centimeter per 3, then x equals, okay, what is the volume of the cuboid? V equals length multiply width multiply height, which equal, we consider the length equals x multiply the width x plus 1 multiply its height, which equal to, so V equals 2 multiply x x square, x multiply 1 equals x. Okay, so we have the volume equals 40. We can write 2 multiply x square plus x equals 40. Dividing both sides by 2, what we get? Here we have 20, right? So x square plus x equals 20. Then x square plus x minus 20 equals 0. So we'll factorize it into two factors. What we get? X plus 5 multiply x minus 4 equals 0, as 5 multiply negative 4 equals negative 20, and the difference equals 1, the coefficient of x. So when x put x plus 5 equals 0, so x equals negative 5, and this is refused. Why? Because x is a length here, and there is no negative length. Okay, the length always positive, and x minus 4 equals 0. It means x equals 4. Then x equals 4, and we choose letter D. Next question here is number 8. In the opposite figure, if the area of the rectangle equals 78, so we write A, consider the area equals A. Area equals 78 centimeter power 2. Then the perimeter of the rectangle equals, okay, the area, what is the rule? The area of any rectangle equals length multiply width. So we have the area here equals 78 equals the length multiply width, x plus 4 multiply x minus 3. So 78 equals x multiply x, it is x square, 4 multiply negative 3, negative 12. 4x plus negative 3 equals positive x. So x square plus x minus 12 minus 78 equals 0. It means x square plus x minus negative 12 plus negative 78 equals negative 90. Don't forget, the required here is to find the perimeter of the rectangle. Perimeter of the rectangle. Perimeter of the rectangle P equals length plus width multiply 2. So we must calculate the value of x. So here we have x squared plus x minus 90 equals 0. Factorize it. So we have x plus 10 multiply x minus 9 equals 0. Okay. So x equals negative 10 or x equals 9. Of course, this solution x equals negative 10 is refused. Okay. So we consider x equals 9. When x equals 9, it means the length equals 9 plus 4, 13 centimeters. And the width will be 9 minus 3, which equal 6 centimeters. And the parameter equals length plus width multiply 2, all multiply 2. 13 plus 6 multiply 2 equals 19 multiply 2, which equal 38 centimeters. And the solution in letter C. Question number 9. A rectangle piece of land whose dimensions are 6 and 9 meters. Here we have a piece of land in the form of a rectangle. And the two dimensions are 6 centimeters and 9 centimeters. It is needed to double its area by increasing each dimension by the same length. Then the increased length equals space. Okay, equals 3 meters, 5 meters, 7 or 9. So let us solve it. Now, the original area here, A, as I said before, equals length multiply width equals 9 multiply 6, which equal 54 centimeter power 2. It is needed to double this area. When we doubled it, so the area A equals 2 multiply 54, which equal 108. 2 multiply 4 equals 8. 2 multiply 5 equals 10. So after we doubled it, it will be 108 centimeter power 2. How we doubled it? How we increased the area? By adding a certain number. Let us consider it x to both the length and the width. Okay, so after we double that, the length equals 9 plus x and the width equal 6 plus x. Of course, the unit will be centimeters. Okay, okay. So what is the new area? What is the new area? The new area is 108. So 108 equals 9 plus x multiply 6 plus x. And we will solve it. So we have 108 equals 9 multiply 6 equals 54. X multiply x, x square. I will get the middle term, multiplying the mean and so the product of the means. plus the product of the extremes equals the middle term. So we have 6x plus 9x equals 15x. It is the middle term. Here is we have positive. So we have x squared plus 15x plus 54 minus 108 equals 0. And we complete. So x squared plus 15x 54 minus 108 equals negative 54 equals 0. So I'll make it here all like this. So x squared plus 15x minus 54 equals 0. And let us factorize it. So you can use calculator. Always you can use calculator. Mod 53. Okay. What is the coefficient of x squared? It is 1 equals. What is the coefficient of x? Is 15 minus 54 equals. So x1 equals 3 and x2 equals negative 18. So x equals 3 or x equals negative 18. Okay, because of course it is refused, right? So x equals 3. Then the increased length equals 3 meters. Here. When you increase 3 meters to both the length and the width, you will get a double of the original area. You will get area of magnitude 108. Okay. Let us go to next question here. Find the value of a which makes x equals 2 is one of the roots of the equation, this equation. Okay. Okay. When x equals 2 is one of the roots of this equation, so we will substitute x equals 2. We will get f of 2 equals 0. And f of 2 equals 2 square, which equal 4, minus 2 multiply 2, 4. So we will get negative 4a plus 2 multiply a square minus 6 equals 0. And we'll solve this equation to find the value of a. So we have 4 minus 4a plus 2a square minus 12 equals 0. So 2a square minus 4a, 4 minus 12 equals negative 8 equals 0. It means dividing both sides by 2, what we get? A square minus 2a minus 4 equals 0. How we solve this equation? As I said before, we can solve it using calculator or using general formula. Okay, here we have the general formula. If we have the equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, then here x equals negative b, positive or negative square root of b square minus 4ac over 2a. It will be a equals negative b, negative coefficient of x, positive or negative square root of b square. It is negative 2 square minus 4a. It is the coefficient of the a square. Here is 1. Negative 4ac like this, and c equals negative 4 over 2. Here is a. What is the value of a in this equation? It is 1. Okay, I know some of you are confused, but concentrate. A equals 2 positive or negative square root of negative 2 square, which equal 4, plus 16. Negative 4 multiply negative 4 is 16 over 2. So a equals 2 positive or negative square root of 20 over 2. We have 2 positive or negative root 20 equals 2 root 5, as root 20 equals root 4 multiply 5, right? Which equal root 4 multiply root 5, and root 4 equals 2. So we have root 20 equals 2 root 5, like this. And we simplify this part. So a equals 2, divide 2 equals 1, positive or negative. 2 root 5 or divide 2 equals root 5. So a equals 1 plus root 5 or 1 minus root 5. And this is the solution for this beautiful question. Question number 9. F of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c, and f of 0 equals negative 3. Okay, f of 0 equals negative 3. Find the value of each of a, b, and c if the roots of the equation f of x equals 0 are 3 and the negative half. So we will use this information. We have f of 0 equals negative 3, right? So, and we have this equation, f of 0 equals negative 3. What does that mean? When you substitute x equals 0, you will get negative 3. So a 0 power 2 plus b multiply 0 plus c equals negative 3. So we have 0 plus 0 equals 0. 0 plus c equals 0 equals c. So we have c equals negative 3. And this is the value of c. Here is the required also is to find the c. C equals negative 3. So the new equation will be f of x, the new function, will be ax squared plus bx minus 3, right? But we have f of x equals 0 when x equals 3 and x equals negative half. So f of 3 equals 0. When uh, uh, x equal to 3, we will get a multiply 3 square, it will be 9, plus 3b minus 3 equals 0. That's why, because f of 3 equals 0. So substituting x equal to 3, you will get 0. So we have 9a plus 3b equals 3. I will simplify it, dividing by 3. So what we get, 3a plus b equals 1. And this is equation 1. Again, when x equals negative half, so f of negative half equals 0, because negative half is one of the two roots. So we'll substitute here x equals negative half. So a multiply negative half all power 2 plus b multiply negative half minus 3 equals 0. Okay, so we have negative half power 2, it is equal 1 over 4a minus half b equals 3. Multiplying both sides by 4, what we get here, multiply by 4 to get rid of the denominator. So we have a minus 2b equals 12. And we will solve these two equations, 1 and 2. We solve it here from 2. Of course, there is many methods to solve these two equations. Okay, so I consider a equals 12 plus 2b, right here, and we'll substitute in equation 1. So we will get 3 multiply 12 plus 2b plus b equals 1. So 36 plus 6b plus b equals 1. So 6b plus b is 7b, right? Equals 1 minus 36 equals negative 35. So b equals negative 35 over 7 equals negative 5. Now I'll substitute here to get the value of a. A equals 12 plus 2 multiply b, which equal 12 minus 10 equals 2. So we have a equals 2 and b equals negative 5 and c equals negative 3, and this is a right solution. So I hope you understand every word I said and understand every problem here. Goodbye and good